And all right, we are live. I see that we are on. And hey, that's what it is. Hello, hello, hello. Hello there, College Park. Yes, my darlings. Yes, my darlings. Yes, my darlings. College Park is where it all goes down. Live, work, play in every part of town. College Park is Georgia's front door. College Park, we've got so much in store. Hello, College Park. Yes, if it sounds like I'm just waking up, it's because I am, child. I had to take a brief little nap because since the weather changed so abruptly yesterday, child, I did not have my jacket with me when I was at work. I usually keep one in the car, but I did not have it. Or at least I don't think I do. And baby, when I tell y'all, honey, everything in me was trying to be cool. But it was right at the end of work when it's time for me to clock out and go home. But I still don't see nobody. I got these chills that had came over me, and my arms got extremely cold. And next thing I know, I started feeling a little lethargic, like my head was spinning a little bit. And I know exactly what that means, honey. That means that a cold virus is starting to set in. And it took me about an hour to get myself together before I was able to leave the job. Because I just sat in my chair at the desk and I just could not move. I was like, oh my God. I didn't want to move because I felt like I was just comfortable where I was. I said, if you don't get your ass up and go home, and I had to come up in here, get me some, I took some NyQuil, and went to sleep, child. Now, usually I do a little bit more than that, because I'm usually NyQuil and an Alka-Seltzer Plus, and something else, child, and I go to sleep on all of that. So yes, I would drug myself up forever. But I didn't do all of that because I didn't have the head cold or whatever. And I said, Lord, if I wake up and my head is all fuzzy and my body is achy, then, you know, I thought I was going to have to call off. Well, that gave me enough to where I'm up and about and I feel cute, but my tonsils are swollen, honey. So that is where it is, child. My tonsils are kind of swollen, and that lets me know that usually they really need to come out. But when I catch a cold or on the verge of a cold, my tonsils swell. So now I'm in the midst of taking care of all that. I supposedly going to give me some Dayquil. That's all right. I think we got some at the job, some Dayquil pills, and I got me some throat coat tea. Wait a minute. Let me show y'all. This is the brand that I use. Traditional medicinal, honey. Throat coat tea. Honey, me and her about to, baby, we're going to change the world, honey, you understand? So, that there is that. So, if I sound a little bit that way, that's what it is, but we're working on it, okay? So now, let me get to the gusto of today. There's a few things I want to do, because I was going to do a Car Chronicles coming home last night, but I just was not, I didn't get up out of the job, honey, until like 12:30, 12:45. And I was a little late, and I didn't want to do that. You know, I know some of you guys love to catch it when I'm like, come on, baby, what are you doing? We got the green light. Sugar, yeah, we got the green. I know some of you like to be up with me when I'm doing it live or whatever, but that was just a little too late, and I didn't want to burden you guys, okay? So I'm going to do the message that I had then, plus today's message. Okay. Praise the Lord. Praise the Lord. First off, let me say today is early voting. Early voting, honey. Child, I got up. That's how I knew I was all right. Because I got up, and when I opened my eyes and recognized that it was Tuesday, I got a text message from a friend, Miss Kitty Girl. She said, child, tell me where we go vote. So, honey, instead of College Park utilizing the College Park Library, We're not doing that this time, honey. We are at the Conley's Recreational Center this time. The Conley Recreational Center. For those of you who don't already know, early voting started today. Child, I got my ass up. I think I got there around about 10 o'clock, somewhere in the 10s in this morning. When I got there, I was in and out within 10 minutes, honey. Okay? In and out within 10 whole minutes. All right? When I put my ballot in to be counted, I was number 107. Yes, honey. Yes, I was number 107. Why you got your nose too far out there, sugar? The being next to me, there was a guy who put his ballot in, and he was number 36. So 107 and 36 is 143. Okay, at 10 o'clock this morning, we had 143 people already out and voted. So, honey, that there screams everything. Okay, we getting out there, we getting it done. So I want to commend all of you who are. If you haven't had the time yet, or whatever the case may be, just know early voting is from October 15th until November 1st. Okay, here in College Park, we are early voting at the Conley Recreational Center. All right, so y'all get on out there, get your voting in, and carry on. I ran into Mr. Sean Francis, Councilwoman Arnold's assistant. Ran into him, talking with him for a good little minute, and carrying on, you know, we said they're jaw jacking the things the way that we do, and that was really cute, okay? He also became a member of the page because they didn't know nothing about everything College Park. So I was telling him, no, listen, I need y'all to get on here so that when the councilwoman has something to post, she can post up here and carry it on and all of that. So we got them on board with coming on to everything College Park. So now I got to get the other two council people to get with the program, child. Okay? So be that as it may. Now, I also, right after I left voting and talking with Mr. Francis, honey, I went over to Miss Say La Vie. Yes, I did. Yes, I did. Say La Vie. Child, I did a separate video that I'm going to post because I was recording while I was in there. But I also told them that I was going to, you know, when I get on the Car Chronicles, honey, we're going to do a live about the experience. Ladies, especially those of you who like to be feminine and demure and all of that, you know, honey, this is the spot. Child, going up in there, you got all these different shades of pink and things of that nature. Pink and dusty rose and mauve and all of that, child. And she had that emerald green. No, that was a pine green, more of a pine green. Pine green furniture and things that's up in there. Honey, it's a really, really cute spot, child. It is a real cute spot. I end up getting me the ham, egg, and cheese croissant. Child, bad. Y'all know one of the things about French pastries is that when you know they're already butter filled, but when you warm them up, child, all that butter is just a complete and total experience. Honey, that's everything. It was everything. So I'm telling y'all, Say La Vie, y'all go ahead over there and get y'all a little do. I still got some of my hot chocolate. I left it in the car. Oh, it's still pretty cute. But that's because of the weather. Okay. So, that'll be there. So we had a good time with that. I went over there, honey. Like I said, I got a large hot chocolate and the ham, egg, and cheese croissant. Okay, lovely, fabulous. So good. Wait a minute, Miss Aubrey and the cafe manager, Miss V, honey. Y'all go over there. Y'all tell them Big Me sent y'all here. They looking for y'all. Now tell them Big Meat sent you, and she'll know exactly what that I told y'all. Here, that's gonna be everything. Miss Aubrey and Miss V. Miss V is the manager, honey, the cafe manager. Okay. So y'all gonna tell them that. All right. So now, this is what I wanted to hit y'all with last night coming home from work. And it's a serious topic. It's very serious. Y'all know that October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month. It is also Domestic Violence Awareness Month. Okay. Now those are two heavy issues that we face in this country. And because they're so heavy, one of the things I want to shed a spotlight on is that I want more men to take these particular things seriously. Okay. Not only as those who perpetrate the violence, because a lot of times when we hear of these particular things, they're often associated with women. And we know that we have a number of women who succumb to this violence for whatever reasons. And this is no judgment. This is no judgment, honey. Because there are women who, you know, are bound to religious reasons of that. Okay, this is my husband or my boyfriend. I'm not supposed to get divorced. I'm not supposed to leave them. There are women who get stuck because they don't know where to go and this, that, and the other. Okay, when we talk about domestic violence, when we talk about breast cancer, because the word is breast cancer, we associate that with women thoroughly. Because breasts are considered to be a sexual object whenever they're not used as feeding mechanisms for babies. Okay? And it's sad that we have to fight for women's rights to be able to breastfeed out in public because people get upset or get offended because she pop a boob out to feed her baby. But that's because we still sexualize the titty. Okay? Sexualize it. But here's something I need you guys to understand. And I'm talking to men because as we often do sexualize the breast form, I love a top-heavy man, okay? And most of the time, they're not necessarily overweight men, even though I like big men. But one of the things about Breast Cancer Awareness Month is that the focus is so much on women to where men get breast cancer too, and there's no focus on it. We don't even have many brochures or pamphlets that talk about men who experience that. In fact, outside of Richard Roundtree, y'all know Shaft, he being a man who had breast cancer and talked about how it emasculated him because, you know, we're talking about the breast tissue or whatever. But when it comes down to it, this is all the same tissue. It's the same thing. But because women have breasts and men have chests, that stupid shit, we tend not to look at this as a man-centered illness or disease, or that men can suffer from it as well. When we talk about domestic violence, we always talk about it from the perpetrator standpoint, but we don't talk about men who are victims of domestic violence because they choose not to hit back, because now the laws are, you know, women, you know, hell, we have a lot of women who antagonize men. A lot of women antagonize men because y'all know he can catch a case. Y'all sit up there and say it. Go on and hit me. You call him all kind of bitch ass niggas and carrying on. You push him in his face. Y'all got tie bow and carrying on. Y'all want to hit the man, knock him in his chest. Y'all do all that crazy shit and think that he's not supposed to hit you back because you say, Go ahead on and hit me so I can charge and you catch your case. So you antagonize men for that. Okay? And there's a lot of men who go through life who don't talk about being abused because, again, masculinity is so fucking fragile. And men don't talk about these things. They don't talk about that. This woman crazy. She's sitting up here hitting on me and carrying on because we always say, or men always tell other men, you ain't got your woman in check. Ridiculous. Fucking ridiculous. See, we need to go back to basics on that because the whole idea is when we were kids, what were we taught? If you don't want nobody to hit you, you don't hit nobody. Okay? If they hit you, you hit them back. Ain't that what we were taught when we were kids? That's basic kidology 101, honey. Somebody hit you, you hit them back. If they're bigger than you, you pick up something and you knock the hell out of them. That's what my mama told me. My mama and my daddy. Okay? Let me share with y'all something. And this happened to me. I had to have been around 7. Yeah, about 7 or 8. No, we were 7. We were still this is before we moved. My sisters were just born. I was 7 years old. I had my god sister. My godmother, my god sister, that family was staying with us. And, tension was brewing between kids because you know how kids do. My mama had a car and this, that, and that. And my god sister and I, may she rest in peace because she's no longer here. We having, this little discussion. And she didn't want me leaning on her mama's car. So we got into a little tit for tat over it, right? Well, her mother, my godmother, Miss Peaches, drunk as hell. Okay, drunk as fuck. Set up there, she said, y'all gonna get this up out of here. Y'all better go do this. So, I come from the era when there's beef, honey. You let them fight it out, 101, and you let them fight it out, right? I come from that era. Child, she put me and Miss Dee Dee, honey, in the middle of everything. Child, we on this lawn. She said, She said, y'all gonna fight this out and get up out your system. Dee Dee jumped and she hit me. I would not hit this girl back, okay? I would not hit this girl back. It got to the point where she was really kicking my ass, okay? We had a media spectacle, child. Everybody on the block had come outside. Folks that were driving, they parked their car. They got the double and triple parking because they watching this girl kick my ass. I mean, she is really, doing a whole number on me, okay? Because I did not want to hit her back. I did not want to hit her back. Well, when she body slammed me, that was it. That girl picked my big ass up and body slammed the shit out of me. Yeah. I felt the earth move up under me, honey, because it rocked when she slammed me to the ground. And I said, okay, you know what? I'm sick of this shit. And I hit her 3 times in her back. I came up with the clout of boom, boom, boom. And that's how I'm doing that, is exactly how it sounded because it echoed, right? And she got up, she went and sat down on the steps and she started crying. And she said, Mama, I don't want to do this no more. And Miss Peaches, being Miss Peaches, honey, nigga, get your ass up and get your ass out of here and finish this shit. Well, at that point, Dee Dee, her name was Danielle, and Anita, Danielle, we call her Dee Dee. Dee Dee jumped up, and when I tell you she was like a cat, and that girl, she leaped at me, and she grabbed me on both sides of my face, right at my cheeks. Here, she grabbed and she pulled. and did not stop till she got to the center of my chest. When I tell you, both sides, and went down to the center of my chest. I forgot what else happened after that. All I know is I was like, And I know I hit her a couple more times, and they called the fight over. Now, mind you, this had to have been going on for maybe about a good 20 minutes. Okay, 20 whole minutes. When my mother went to go nurse me and carrying on, she mercurochrome and alcohol and stuff, right? Burning the shit out of me. And she asked me, she said, why didn't I hit her? I said, Mama, I watch you and Daddy fight all the time. And I didn't want to hit no girl because I didn't want to be like Daddy. And my mother told me then, she said, I don't give a damn who it is. You don't let nobody. Wait a minute, I'm sorry, y'all. Oh, I didn't know that was going to hit me like that. I guess because Mama's not here. When I start to have these, oh, wait a minute. Give me a second. Oh, I didn't think that was going to hit me like that, but okay, it's a moment. Hey, Mama, I'm thinking about you. All right. All right. She said, you don't let nobody hurt you. I don't care who it is. I said, but Mama, it ain't good for a man for boys to hit girls. She said, I don't care who it is. You don't let nobody hurt you. And listen, I stand on that ever since that day. Ever since that day. This is why I am one of the people who argue. Oh, honey, I argue down. When y'all sit up there and say a man is never supposed to hit a woman, that's a motherfucking lie. That's a lie from the pit of hell that it comes from. I understand the sentiment behind it. I get it. I get it. I do not like the fact when men feel as though they are better than women. I do not like the fact that because he know he bigger than her, this, that, and other, when he take advantage of her. I ain't talking about none of that. I ain't talking about none of that because all of that is wrong. But I'm talking about when a woman want to feel as though she got the brass balls to stand up to a man and go toe to toe, and she feels as though that her Taebo and her cross training and her taekwondo and all of that she knows that she feels she can whoop a man, and she antagonizes a man, and she does all the things to get up in a man's face and tell that man he ain't gonna do shit and all of that. Oh, hell no. Oh, shit, no. And this is why when you're talking about domestic violence, these are the conversations we got to have. Okay? These are the conversations. All right? Because there's another part to it. Do y'all understand? Do y'all hear where I'm going with this? I hope you do. I need y'all to hear me. Because we understand the parts where we got the big old ogre and the bully and the dude sitting up there doing all this heinous bullshit. Because my father was one of them. I told y'all that already. My father was one. Okay? But my mother was a fight. She was a fighter. She fought back. Okay, a lot of women in those places and in those cases, a lot of it became domestic violence because a lot of women didn't fight back. We hear the stories of the women being put in hospitals, that being killed, and this, that, and that, that kind of thing, to where they get hurt real badly. We don't hear about the women who fight back, who end up, and all of that. You know what I'm saying? We don't hear about that. We don't hear about men who chooses not to hit a woman because he know he's stronger than her or whatever. He chooses not to, but yet the woman want to antagonize. These are the conversations that we have to have when we talk about domestic violence. When we talk about Domestic Violence Awareness Month, we got to broaden that conversation. Here's the other thing. We got to go to talk about the children of domestic violence survivors and domestic violence victims. Because what about the kids? I'm an adult child now of all of that. And y'all see, I still well up from time to time. Okay? My mother was my Wonder Woman because I watched her handle herself. I watched her defeat. What in the hell are you damn doing, child? Child, listen. This fool. Okay, here we go. Here we go. Y'all know yesterday I was in this spot. I had to holler at the day. Come on over. Come on. I hollered at that damn, what's the name, driver? This time, okay, he did right. Anyway. You know, I talk about those things that because my mother became my Wonder Woman. I watched her defeat the bad guy. I watched her protect herself and her children from a man who was all of this, that, and the third. But as my mother told me, she said, baby, you saw the victories. You didn't see the defeats. Oh, that still hits me in my crawl. Okay, that still hits me in my crawl. So see, when we talk about domestic violence, okay, we have to broaden that conversation. We also have to broaden that conversation to talk about same-sex couples. See, one of the things I know, and I swore this, I've never been in an abusive relationship, thank God. But one of the things about same-sex couples is, when it comes down to two men, law enforcement don't want to do shit about it. Y'all see that that's two men doing their thing, okay? A man being the man, or whatever the case may be, or better yet, y'all see two faggots and y'all don't want to be bothered with them because they're faggots. Okay? Y'all see two women and it's a bitch fight because y'all thinking that, oh, they're going to start tearing their clothes off and y'all get to see free titties. Okay? And this, that, and the other. Y'all find that sexy and arousing. I'm talking about the men folk. Okay, and let me talk about my lesbian, the stud lesbian, y'all, because y'all have that same kind of mentality. Okay, see, we go through all those particular changes and we make a joke out of it. We don't have the deeper conversation behind it. Okay, we don't have the deeper conversation behind it because there's a lot of stuff around it to where what we have to do is analyze a lot of that because there are a lot of gay men who believe that because they are the feminine one of the couple. Okay, they too fishy to do all that, and a lot of them act as if they're supposed to be like the woman, and allow this man to kick their ass because, you know, they don't want to recognize their masculine selves. You know what I'm saying? That's the whole conversation. Many of y'all may not understand that. I know it sounds specious, but we have folks who believe that. We have folks who act in that manner. Yes, we do. Okay, yes, we do. All right? As far as lesbian couples are concerned, we have a lot of the studs who feel as though that they are men, and they go whooping on their women, and you can see it. When I've seen studs fight, and you know when they jump on their women and carry on. And I've heard the same rhetoric that comes out of men's mouths, okay, when they're fighting and carrying on. They got the same jealousy streak. Okay, why are you sitting up there talking to this woman? And this, that, and that. It's the same shit. It's the same shit. I watch girls get thrown out of cars. I was back home in Detroit, and I watched a fight where they were a couple, and the two girls got into it, and the stud took that girl and beat her ass and slung her ass out the car and said, bitch, you better not get back in this car. And they took that car and drove off and left that girl there. Left her there, honey. And this, that, and the third. And we have people who believe that's supposed to happen. We have people who believe that unless they go through something like that, that they're not living. They got to have that violin story so that they can tell, oh child, this is what happened to me. And we have allowed that to become a part of life, to where there are certain people who believe that that there is what they're supposed to do. We have, communities, a lot of folks think that being in the hood means that, oh child, you're supposed to have that kind of attitude. We've allowed society to say it ain't the real hood, honey, unless you got this kind of shit going on. We got society telling folks that you ain't man enough if you ain't got your woman in check. This is ridiculous. Okay? These are the conversations that have to be had. Now that's domestic violence. Let me go back to breast cancer. Okay? When we talk about treatments and carrying on, men who are top heavy need to have mammograms too. Men got titties nowadays, child. Y'all know that. Hell, listen, and mine are cute. But mine are nowhere near what these kids got, not particularly with the food and stuff that we got 10-year-olds walking around here with titties. They already in a C cup at 10. I'm not talking about the girls. Got little boys walking around here with C cup titties. Okay? What they supposed to do with all that? Okay? Nothing, because men are never told. We're not told how to have the breast exam. I'm still trying to learn how to do it on my own, because I'm fairly heavy, up top or whatever. But mammograms are not told to men at all. Okay, we don't hear that. Okay, they don't even have a language for it. If you don't want to call it mammogram, sterogram, teddygram, something-gram, honey, go get your titties checked. Shit, you need to take the test. Okay? Papagram, honey, ma'am and papa. Okay? Something. We have to go look at that, because it's the same tissue. We don't look at treatment. We don't even have any of the commercials. We don't do anything with men when it comes down to breast cancer. I said that too when I was working at the Western over there on Best Road. We had one year a breast cancer convention. I was on the shuttle bus with them. We were all going back to the airport. I was going home, and I was getting to the MARTA station, and I was on the shuttle with them. And I said, "Can I ask y'all a question?" I said, "How come you never have any information about men and breast cancer, considering that it was growing? Breast cancer was growing amongst men." Okay, the numbers. And everybody on the bus stopped talking, and they looked at me. And they said, "Oh, that's a really good question." Mind you, I've been working over here at the Georgian Terrace for 10 years. Okay. I was out of work for one, so that's 11 years. Okay, so we're going to say that had to be at least 12, 13 years ago that I said this. Okay. And at that particular time, we still ain't no better off than where we were. Okay. We still are no better off than where we were as far as getting men the information and the education. Okay. I mean, hell, we already know that men's health is already peril anyway, because men we won't even take a testicular exam. Okay. We won't even do that. Okay. So you talking about trying to test your breast? Try that. Okay. So what do we do? But yet and still, again, this is information that we do not advocate. Okay. We do not advocate. And a lot of times we have people in the midst who are who don't advocate for us, with us, about us. You know what I'm saying? We have people who